Okay, so I've just finished reading the User Reviews Revisited blog post from Steam. What a load of fucking bullshit. Jesus Christ, I haven't seen this much developer wanking in a long ass time from Steam. Alright, so I guess what I'll do is I'll read through it and then I'll comment on what I think the shittiest parts of it are. So, some time ago, we made some changes to how we presented the user reviews for games and their resulting review score. We talked about the changes in this blog post, which basically just says Steam is pussyfooting around and going about the worst way to implement a graph that shows how review scores have been and whether or not they were massively downvoted in one set of time. Personally, I think a review graph is fine, but they pussyfoot around. They keep trying to say that it's for the benefit of the developers, which is the exact wrong way to go about it. If you're going to try and hide this corporate shilling bullshit, then you should at least come at it from a consumer-friendly side. But no, Steam would rather have the not even $1 million companies, just developers. It's ridiculous. Anyway, so they describe in that post that they want to ensure that players who have played a game can voice their opinions about why other people should or shouldn't buy the game, and that the summary of these opinions into a single review score should help represent the likelihood that a future purchaser will be happy with their purchase. Alright, but that's bullshit though. That is actually bullshit. If it was for the benefit of a future purchaser, then they wouldn't have to come out with hiding review bombs. If they actually gave a toss about what any future purchaser would have, they would just leave it. They would have the upvote, the downvote, and then they would have what they have going on now. Again, a lot of people will say that the graph is a bit wishy-washy. For me, I think it's fine. I actually think it's a rather good idea because there will be some people who don't care at all for mass downvotes. But that's something we should get into later because it's an opt-out of system rather than an opt-into one, which is fucking retarded. Since that post, we've continued to listen to feedback from both players and developers. Bullshit. It's clear to us that players value reviews highly and want us to ensure they're accurate and trustworthy, so leave them alone. Developers understand they're valuable to players, want to feel like they're being treated fairly. Oh, boo-hoo. Oh, we just wanted to put always online DRM in our fucking game. Oh, we only told our customers to fuck off. Oh, we're only being absolute wank stains to them. It's completely ass backwards. Why the fuck would they care about developers being treated fairly by the customers? I understand Steam wanting to treat them fairly themselves, but the customer should be more valued than the fucking dev. We're the ones giving the money. I know the devs have to pay a fee, but they're gonna make that back soon. And Steam's gonna leech more off of that shit. So why listen to them? You're business partners, we're customers. Jesus Christ. We've also spent a bunch of time building analysis tools to help us better understand what's happening in the reviews across all titles on Steam. So more algorithms, because if there's one thing that people fucking love, it's algorithms. With that feedback and data in hand, we think we're ready to make another change. A bad one. That change can be described easily. We're going to identify off-topic review bombs and remove them from the review score. What the fuck? This is the only power that reviewers can have. And I'm just gonna be fucking real. The reviewers on PC are a lot more informed and they are a lot more active than console reviewers. That's why every fucking console game is gonna have 5 stars. Whereas Steam, it's gonna be overwhelmingly, mostly, or just positive, or other way around. When's the last time you ever gave a review on console? When's the last time you ever read a review on console? On the actual storefront? Never. Because you can only give it some stars and that's it. And then to get rid of off-topic reviews, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Why would you do that? How can you decide what is off-topic? It could be extremely on-topic. It could be one reason that convinces someone else to not buy it. Yeah, we don't want these, the fact that the developers murder babies, fucking rape goats or something. We don't want that to affect the review score of the game. It doesn't reflect it on itself. Bullshit. Let people decide for themselves. We don't need you to nanny us. While easy to say, it raises a bunch of questions, so let's dig into the details. First, what do we mean by off-topic review bomb? As we defined in our original post, a review bomb is where players post a large number of reviews in a short period of time aimed at lowering the review score of a game. Yes, and that's a perfectly legitimate thing to do. It's like a mass downvote, or just ratioing someone in Twitter. It's one of the most effective tactics that the consumer has to say, stop this practice. But no, Steam's just gonna cuck themselves over to fucking corporate shills. We define an off-topic review bomb as one where the focus of those reviews is on a topic we consider unrelated to the likelihood that future purchasers will be happy if they buy the game, and hence not something that should be added to the review score. Right, but what if what you define as something that is off-topic and won't inform a future purchaser? What if a future purchaser looks at these quote-unquote off-topic reviews and it actually influences them? I didn't buy Kerbal Space Program because I found out that the DRM in that game basically tracks you everywhere you go on your fucking computer. You know, you may as well install some spyware on your PC. It's the same fucking difference. It's so contextual. You can't put in algorithms for this shit. And even then, why are you giving more power to the devs? Why are you giving them more power in this situation? It's the consumer that should have the power. We should be able to decide whether or not a review is good or bad. We should decide whether or not we accept these practices. Steam, you're big enough to say no. You know, who's going to switch from Steam to GOG? To the Epic Store? Fuck them both. Obviously, there's a great area here because there's a wide range of things that players care about. So how will we identify these off-topic review bombs? The first step is a tool we've built that identifies any anomalous review activity on all games on Steam in as close to real time as possible. So again, another fucking algorithm. It doesn't know why a given game is receiving anomalous review activity, and it doesn't even try to figure that out. Instead, it notifies a team of people at Valve, who then go on and investigate. We've already run our tool across the entire history of reviews on Steam, identifying many reasons why games have seen periods of anomalous review activity, and off-topic review bombs appear to only be a small number of them. Right, but what if the game comes out with an update? That sparks some anomalous review activity. But then the developers, they say, oh no, it's because of this, that, or the other. Because that's what they can do. That's what they always do. They'll always try and push it onto something else. They won't accept their own fucking responsibility for this shit. Once our team has identified the anomalous activity as an off-topic review bomb, we'll mark the time period it encompasses and notify the developer. The reviews with that time period will then be removed from the review score calculation. Bullshit. They should stay. They should help the consumer. You should be able to see that's why you have the recent reviews and then the overall reviews. Because the overall reviews could be overwhelmingly positive, but then the recent reviews could be mostly negative. Then it will be up to the consumer to say, okay, what's happened? Oh, the developer ended up taking a shit on a baby. Oh, okay, I guess I shouldn't buy the game then, because I don't want to support people like that. It's still monetary support, for fuck's sake. As before, the reviews themselves are left untouched. If you want to dig into them to see if they're still relevant to you, you're still able to do so. Great, but how many people when they're buying a game? Because I'm a very active purchaser. I'll go through the reviews, I'll make sure that what I'm buying is good. Again, that's what talked me out of buying Kerbal Space Program. Most people don't give a shit about that. Most people just see mostly positive. Okay, I'll buy it. But it turns out that every other active purchaser and everyone who's playing the game, who looks at the game and says, wow, this is fucking shit, they've mass downvoted it. But no, it's off topic. It doesn't matter what fucking topic it is. It's the power the consumer has. To help you do that, we've made it clear when you're looking at the store page where we've removed some reviews by default, and we further improved the UI around anomalous review periods. Finally, we've also enabled you to opt out of this entirely if that's your preference. No, it should be an opt-into experience. It shouldn't be something that we have to opt out of. How many people are going to give a flying toss? How many people go into their system settings and try and figure out how to not have these options there? I think the closest one that most people would go to is maybe unticking adult, and that would be if it's in their Steam queue. There's now a checkbox in your Steam store options where you can choose to have off-topic review bombs still included in all the review scores you see. While we're working on some other features around user review, we thought this one was worth shipping it by itself. As always, if you have thoughts or concerns, feel free to voice them in the comments below. I'm fucking voicing them alright. And then they go on to a Q&A. So, I care about some things that I worry other players don't, like DRM or EULA changes. Review bombs have been about them in the past. Do you consider them unrelated or off topic? We had long debates about these two and others like them. They're technically not a part of the game, but they are an issue for some players. In the end, we decided to define them as off-topic review bombs. That is extremely on topic. That can really shape the player experience. Like fucking Grand Theft Auto 5. I gotta log online to play that game all the fucking time for no reason. And then they have the audacity to try and say that that's off topic. Bullshit. It can be very important. What if they're, I don't know, modding the game? But then the EULA says you can't mod the game and then they'll ban you. And when they buy the game, they don't know that. And they can't just see, oh, okay, it's mostly negative now. How about I go see, oh, they're banning people for modding the game? Like Vermintide fucking 2? Okay, yeah, maybe I shouldn't buy this game then. Our reasoning is that the general Steam player doesn't care as much about them, so the review score is more accurate if it doesn't contain them. Bullshit, you probably had a small target group. Again, it should be something you opt out of. If you see mostly negative, that is going to spur some attention. Because people care about what they spend their fucking money on. In addition, we believe players who do care about topics like DRM are often willing to dig a little deeper into games before purchasing, which is why we still keep all the reviews within the review bombs. It only takes a minute to dig into those reviews to see if the issue is something you care about, so you're hiding it from people who might not know otherwise. I bet a load of people don't even know about this. I bet a load of normies don't know about what Steam's doing now. So when they see that a game's going to be mostly positive, they're not going to get what that white asterisk is. And they're probably not going to go through. And then something comes up and it affects them. And they don't understand why everyone seems to say this game's good. So you're just tricking. That's what you're doing. You're tricking people, the vast majority of people who won't look into it. So if I post a review inside the period of an off-topic review bomb, my review won't be included in the review score. Unfortunately, this is correct. There you go. So people who even like the game can't even say that they like the game. We've tested our process of identifying off-topic review bombs on the entire history of reviews on Steam, and in doing so we found that while we can look through the reviews and community discussions to determine what's behind the review bomb, it isn't feasible for us to read every single review. That's fair. I don't expect them to have an entire man team go through every single review. But you know what else I don't expect? I don't expect them to try and do this totalitarian fucking bullshit on review scores. But as we mentioned back in our first user review post, our data shows us that review bombs tend to be temporary distortions, so we believe the review score will still be accurate, and other players will still be able to find and read your review within the period. Yes, because they will definitely focus on the one positive review amongst 100 negative reviews, because that's how the human psyche works, he said, brimming with fucking sarcasm out of his arsehole. Are you deleting reviews? No, we are only changing the way we calculate a review score. All reviews are left untouched, and if you still want to see the raw review score, you're welcome to make that change in your Steam store preferences. Make that the default! Does this mean you'll be going back to identify and remove old off-topic review bombs? Based on internal conversations and consultation with some of the partners that have experienced off-topic review bombs, we decided to unilaterally grandfather in what's happened in the past. Not to Whatever. They're not gonna do it. Good job. You're being competent. What about when I don't agree with you about what's an off-topic review bomb? We'd suggest fucking off. We'd suggest setting your Steam reviews default to include reviews from all Steam purchases in review scores in the under review score settings in your Steam preferences. So yeah, we'd suggest you, the consumer, having to go out of your way to make sure that when a company does something shitty, you don't suck a dick. Reviews are extremely important to me. They're one of the few tools customers have to react to deception or discovering something they've been sold is subpar. I guess that really wasn't a question, but I just wanted to say that. Oh, ha ha ha. So now you're belittling people who are trying to get onto it. Yeah, I bet some people are going to look at that and think, oh, this is funny, this is cute. No, this is a jab. This is a jab at people who have genuine concerns like me. People who care about video games. People who care about what the future of the industry is going to be. We agree. We remain active in our conversation with you, the community, about what you want from reviews, along with the various partners who sell their games on Steam. Reviews are an important part of Steam, which is why we continue to do the work to make sure they are not being manipulated by anyone. Yeah, not manipulated by anyone apart from the fucking customers! If those customers, if they're gonna try and manipulate the reviews, oh, those scumbags, how dare they have an opinion? Fuck's sake. It's the same reason that we decisively ban partners who engage in review manipulation. Customers need to be able to trust the system for it to be valuable. Right, but how are you supposed to trust a system that is actively going against the consumer? And then you've got the people in the comments and they're talking about how this is bullshit. They're talking about Epic Games being a viable competitor. No, Epic Steams is even fucking worse. They're data mining you. They're doing all sorts of shady bullshit. Don't go to the Epic Games Store. Go to GOG. They need it. They've had to lay off some people, and I feel bad for them. They're good old boys. Jesus Christ. Just move to GOG. Fuck Steam. Steam can go fuck itself if they're gonna do this bullshit. If people like me doing this sort of thing, I guess I'll do another one on them banning games. I have to talk about the whole Rape Day controversy. Conclusion. Fuck Steam, go onto their Steam blog and tell them they can suck a dick.